Yeah, what's up guys, it's SOS Reptiles here, and today I'm just bringing you guys a new video. So today I'm just going to be doing a basic hatchling corn snake setup guide slash care guide. I'm not going to be focusing too much on the heating side of things. Obviously the one bit of advice I'm going to say is use obviously for hatchlings, if you're using a funarium, use a heat mat, and always, and I'll say this is the most important thing, always use a thermostat because you can't control the temperatures without. There are a couple of heat mats which have exceptions, but I just always stat with them just because you want to be able to control the temperatures as accurately as you can. So anyway, I've got some random bits of decoration that I just have lying about, which I'm not using for my other snakes at the moment. They're all upstairs. I'm actually filming downstairs today. So yeah, I've got all of these bits here. So basically what first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a rub or a funarium. This is a decent sized one. I can't remember the exact dimensions. It's the extra large flat funarium. But yeah, this is good, or you can use a rub with a similar size. You're also going to need a heat mat. So yeah, just there's a cord there. This is a bit too big, I'd say, for this kind of tank. But this is just the only other one I had lying about as a spare. I don't actually have a stat out right now because I don't have a spare one at the moment. All three are being used upstairs. I don't feel like unplugging one and having to change everything to show. Basic heating advice. So basically we're just going to put, you're not going to want to put a heat mat like this on the floor like this. You're going to want to put it on top of like another vivarium or a desk or any kind of thing like that, a table. So you want that. Also, my advice would be, even though these have little raised bits, well, I'd say it's alright, but basically, see there's a little gap in between there. You need that if you're putting it under a funarium. The heat mats actually come with the little legs, so you can put them on like underneath your funarium to lift it up even more. But I don't actually have any of those right now. And you're probably better gluing them on or something and letting them set for a day or two, because those legs just come off all the time. So probably some double-sided tape or something like that. So this is going to be our hot side. Let's just try and line that up nicely. So yeah, that's going to be our hot side there. So you want, with all tanks like this, you want a third of it to be the hot side, then 2/3 to be cool. And with temperatures, as temperatures go, you want the hot side to be about 29 to about 31ish. That's how I keep my corn snakes personally. People do like exactly 29, 30, but to be honest, I don't see an issue. I've always had mine at kind of 29. Sometimes it rises, sometimes it's about 29. Really depends. It fluctuates as all heat does, and I've had no issues, and I've kept my snakes for a while now. So yeah, so that will be controlled with a thermostat, and you just put the probe. So you plug the thermostat, you plug this into the thermostat, depending on which one you have, and then you set the thermostat to the required temperature. But before you do that, you put the probe from the thermostat and you fix it onto the heat mat, like in the middle, so you can check the temperatures. Okay, right. So I put the substrate in now. Now, just for the purpose of this video, I've just put 2 layers of newspaper. This is fine for a hatchling. Paper towels is good as well. When you first get a snake, you should put it on paper towels, in my opinion, just so you can check whether it's got mites or any health problems. It's easier to tell that if it's not on a loose substrate. And then the substrate I'd recommend for a hatchling, which I've always kept mine on, is either newspaper or aspen. There's a lot of variations, that kind of stuff. Anything like that, you don't want anything too humid, like eco earth or orchid bark or anything like that. You want kind of a nice kind of substrate they can burrow in. They can burrow in newspaper, but I'd say aspen is the best just for enrichment. So yeah, now you've got this set up. So now what you're going to want to do is you want to get some hides in. So the hides I've got here are just random ones I've got lying around. This is just a simple black one. Obviously you can go fancier depending on what you want. You can make it look as nice as you want or as simplistic as you like. Depends what you personally want. So I'm just going to put this down there like that. It is a lot harder to do things one-handed than you actually think. So yeah, got a nice hide here. This is the cool side hide. So this is good for a hatching, it's the right kind of size. The newspaper's really bugging my OCD. So yeah, there's a hide there. Then we're going to get another hide. This one's a bit big for a hatchling, but I've just put it in for demonstration purposes. You're just going to get something that's kind of the right size. You can make your own hides, but depending on the size of your snake. So at the moment it looks a bit bland. Then what I like to do is on the cool side as well. You can put it on either the cool side or the hot side, doesn't really matter. But you can put it down just a water dish. Now this is just one of these little, I think it's a goo cheesecake or something like that. It's just washed out of, it's just what that comes in, and you wash it out in the dishwasher, clean it. Perfect for a hatchling, water bowl size. Just change that every day or two. I'd say if you don't have a lot of snakes, just change it every day. Just because why wouldn't you? It takes like 10 seconds. I've never really understood why you would like leave it. So basically, I'm not sure if I've touched on this yet or not. I don't think I have. But basically you want the cold side, or I don't even want to call it the cold side, but the cool side, you want it to be about 23 to 26 degrees Celsius roughly. Obviously it is going to fluctuate temperatures, but as long as it's cooler, that's all that really matters. So yeah, so this is what it looks like at the moment. It's quite simple. Obviously you can play about with what you want. We've got 2 hides, which is the main thing. Nice bit of wood, which is good to aid shedding, good for coverage. A water dish, and then what I always like to do as well is just chuck in a fake plant. This is just one I have lying around, because it just gives them a bit of coverage and makes them feel more secure, and it also makes the tank look like 20 times better. So yeah, sorry about the lighting as well, it's dark now. So yeah, we've got the heat metal set up. That would obviously be connected to a thermostat. We've got hot hide, hot side, heat it to the right temperature. We've got the water dish, cool side, cold hide, log film to climb on, and plants. And then all we have to do now is just put the lid on, obviously, close it all up, and that's perfect. You'd have this on the table. Now I thought I'd just cover kind of just a couple of other basic things. So basically, another thing you're going to need is some feeding tongs. Now these are big ones because I've got an adult corn and an adult royal python. But you might as well just get the big ones to start with, because otherwise you just have to buy more. I think these were, I got these off Amazon for like £2, which, yeah, they're not the best, but they're good. Another important thing is just a deep clean, disinfectant. I should have said, before you put anything in the tank, you just want to spray it down before you put it in the tank, like any new hides or plants or whatever. You need to clean the water dish every now and then. So yeah, anything like that is important to be cleaned on a regular basis. You want to clean it with that disinfectant. It's not expensive, it's a couple of pounds, it lasts quite a long time. I've got 3 snakes and I've used this bottle for a month or 2, and I've been using about half of it, and I do clean stuff quite often. Also, another good thing to buy is a heat gun. So it's an infrared thermometer. So basically, obviously the temperatures, the heat mat isn't on, but for example now I can just spray it, and that's 14 degrees, and that's what the, oh look, it's gone down, 13. So yeah, you can kind of spray the temperatures. So yeah, I'd say a heat gun's important. It's good because you can just point, shoot, and find a temperature, and it's good to just check every now and then. It's a lot more accurate than digital thermometers and stuff like that. They're not very good. So yeah, I'd recommend getting one of these if you've got a corn snake, just so you can check temperatures every day or 2. It's just important for their well-being. Another thing I just want to go through is basically humidity. Now, you don't need to worry too much about this, because corn snakes don't require external spraying or whatever. Occasionally you can give a slight mist if they're in shed. I don't personally do it. Mine always shed fine by themselves. If you give them a big enough water bowl, they'll be fine. So you don't really need to worry about humidity. It's just, it's not like with a royal python where you have to spray. You don't really need to monitor it too much. It doesn't matter particularly. As long as you don't spray, it's not going to get super high unless you're using like a bad substrate like eco earth or something that's not, unless you dry it out, it's not suitable for the kind of snake. I'd recommend aspen, because I just think it's a good substrate for corns. And also the final thing I just want to touch on is basically feeding, a rough guide to feeding. I don't want to go too in depth with it because, you know, I'm not the most experienced corn snake owner. I only have 2. I haven't had them for like ages and ages. I've had one for almost a year, the other for a few months. But feeding wise, obviously you're going to be starting them off on pinkies, and then you're going to want to move up to large pinkies, etc., etc. Just as they're babies, what I'd recommend is feeding them every 5 to 7 days. Corns are really good feeders, so you shouldn't worry about that too much. So yeah, I think that's about everything. So here's just a overview of the setup here. Doesn't look too rubbish. Obviously, it'd look better if you're actually doing it yourself because you can think about it more. I just pulled out some random bits and pieces that I had lying about. So yeah, this is basically just a basic setup for a baby / hatchling corn snake. They'll be happy in this for quite a long time. My corn snake that's almost a year old would be fine in this still, but she's always been in a 2 foot vivarium just because when I actually got her, they had a sale on at the reptile store I got her from, so I managed to get a 2 foot for about £25, I think it was. So I just thought I'd put her in that. Generally, wooden vivariums are a lot better at holding heat than plastic, but this will still be absolutely fine, obviously, because you don't need to worry about humidity escaping because it doesn't matter. Also, when it comes to feeding, one thing I touch upon is there's no point you feeding it outside of the tub, in my personal opinion. I feed all of my snakes inside and they're not cage aggressive because they can smell really well when there's food and when there's not. So I don't really have any issues with it. Do what you'd like, it's your pet. To me, it would just be a pain just to take all my snakes out and then feed them in separate tubs and put them back in. I think it would kind of stress them out more, moving them back in. I have done it previously, like once or twice when I first had my corn snake, and then I just started doing a lot. Not that I didn't do a lot of research, but I started to watch more and more videos about reptiles and just people in general said there's no point. So yeah, ignore my dog's bed behind, but yeah, here's the setup here. It's pretty cool. Snake would really like it in here. And one more time, I just want to state, thermostat needs to be used so much. Is the most important piece of kit you have. If you can't afford a thermostat, don't get the snake yet. It's just ridiculous not to use one. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've got a couple more uploads planned coming soon. I'm going to be doing another snake room update. A few things have changed within the vivariums and stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next upload. Peace.